Gracia churns endlessly. A mechanical beast chewing its own tail, convinced it's a feast. Towers of brass and glass rise high into the smog, their edge catching the moonlight like the teeth of a saw. Steam escapes from hidden veins in the streets below, curling upward as ghosts trying to flee a city that keeps them bound. The streets hum with motion, the frantic pulse of gears and engines pretending they're alive, as if noise could replace meaning. Two figures stand on a neighboring rooftop, cloaked in the smog of a city that wouldn't seem to know they exist. The taller one, still as the moon itself, their metallic cloak catching faint streaks of light through the haze. Beneath their hood, smooth lines of soft light trace their face, flowing like streams on a map only they can read. They are calm, unshaken, as if this rooftop were the only solid ground they've ever known. The shorter one shifts constantly, arms crossed, pacing the edge of the rooftop. Their patched cloak flutters sharply in the polluted breeze, each step like a defiant challenge to the city below. Jagged lines on their skin seem to cut against the air, their presence sharp and restless. Following the taller one's gaze across the gap, a private hall blazes with golden light. Behind massive stained glass windows, a dinner party unfolds. Men and women swathed in brass and velvet toast to their own importance, their laughter rising like flames from a fire they themselves are feeding. The shorter figure ceases pacing to stand dangerously close to the edge, as if to challenge the wind itself. They don't even know what's happening. They rarely do. This is ridiculous. Miles away, lands are on the brink of collapse, and here we are watching them drink wine. Here is where we were sent. We shouldn't be here. We should be watching the Child of Flame, or the one Undulith controls, or somewhere that matters. The taller one tilts their head slightly. This matters. Does it? The shorter one throws up their hands, pacing again. They think they're untouchable. They toast to their progress, refusing to notice the sand clinging and digging between their damned golden cobblestones. Most won't see the end coming before it does. The shorter one stops, turning sharply towards the taller figure. You say that like it's fine. Like it doesn't make your skin crawl to stand here and watch it all fall apart. It doesn't. Convenient. The taller one doesn't respond. They're calm, unbroken. The shorter figure steps closer, their voice rising. You'd rather be here, wouldn't you? Far from the war brimming, far from the fire, far from the light. They stop mid-sentence, watching the taller figure closely. For the first time, the stillness shifts as the taller one finally turns to their partner, face shrouded now in shadow. The light isn't ours anymore. But it was. They were. And they're out there now, twisting and defiling everything and everyone they touch. The taller one straightens, the faint glow under their hood brightening. The light is beyond our reach. Because we abandoned it. Because it is no longer ours to hold. The shorter one shakes their head, stepping back towards the edge of the rooftop. It's easy for you to say that. I know this isn't the first time you saw a world fall to itself, but why? Why stay here? The taller one gazes towards the moon, faintly visible through the smog. Here is where the threads cross. And everyone else, everywhere else, they're fraying. To pull at the threads is to tear the weave. The shorter one leans against the edge of the rooftop. And when the princess and the primordial champion fall to him, when the child burns too bright, when the drowning ones sink the islands for good, we just watch that too. We observe. We report. And we let it happen. Taller one faces forward again, looking back towards the glowing hall. What else would you have us do? The shorter one doesn't answer, their fists clenched at their sides. Laughter bursts through the closed windows from the hall. Below, the streets hum with the rhythm of the city, endless and exhausting. The shorter figure crouches down, dusting away the sand on their boot. I hate this. The waiting. No. The knowing. Time passes as the wind suddenly stirs, scattering smoke and ash between the towers. There is a dull flash of white-blue light, and in an instant, the rooftop is empty. Its watchers gone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story. Bringing in the new year with our beloved friends, our Tuesday group, the new moon. Everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi.
Hello.
Matt's the only one that gets points for having his mic off.
I'm a team player.
You are.
I'm just trying to do my part.
I'm trying to take care of my dogs.
It's fair. Welcome everybody to the new year. It is 2025, and that means new plans, new pieces starting to take shape, take form in our player characters' lives, and in Astera itself. So we will see what the year brings for the fate of the world of Astera. For those who have no idea what this is, hi, we are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, having 5 parties living, existing, and breathing, for those who do, in the same homebrew world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Astera, for as long as it still exists. So this is your first, second, or third time watching. Welcome. We hope you enjoy yourself. Kick back, relax, and have a drink. As you guys can see, Kay is not with us. Our Prisha down here. They will be joining sometime probably just before our 10-minute break. So that will be happening for here on out for a little bit. So, okay, we will miss you, but we understand. Cool. Announcements, as I mentioned before, yeah, there's some changes that are going to be starting to happen, strictly and very, I would say very pointedly based on the choices that our characters are making in the world of Astera, in the next 6 to 8 months at least. So there will be some other sort of hints of things that are going on in the background as the year progresses. But we are starting this year out with that video and that session. But that's okay, because that was in Veracia, which is like nowhere near where you guys are at, right? So you guys are probably fine. Also, lastly, if you're wanting to support the channel, the best way to do so is to like and subscribe where you're watching this, whether that is on YouTube or Twitch. Please and thank you in advance. We really appreciate knowing kind of how many people are watching and supporting the channel. It helps me out a ton. Yeah, cool. And then also you can check out our Instagram and TikTok down below, right down there at It's a Long Story _TTRPG, where you can see Kay just trying their darndest to make us seem cool in our moments of extreme peril, extreme mirth, and all of the areas in between. Yeah, please check that out and feel free to do the whole like, comment, subscribe thing there as well. We thank you. That is it as far as announcements go. So I believe we are ready to start the new year. Oh, also, actually, by the way, if I recall correctly, Unearthed Arcanum and New Moon started at basically the same time, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean that our friends, happy birthday. It is our second year or anniversary, whatever you want to call it. It is our second year in the New Moon.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Matt's making faces and no one's talking. So
I'm just, it's amazing when we started, iPods and Zunes were a thing. So it's like really awesome that we've made it this far into the world.
And it's crazy that, like, Zunes won.
Other D&D groups don't even know how to use a rotary phone, and here we are. We're able to really do this.
And here we are. We start at the bottom and we work our way around, and that's how we do it. And
in the middle somewhere.
Depending on your first number, depending on where your area code is. Rotary phones. Let's talk about them. Yeah, so we are starting off our session tonight in a very interesting place that I'm very excited to jump into. Before we do, you need to get a recap of where we were last year. All right, I will do that joke one more time in Mongoose Crew. That'll be the last one. Or second
I'm sure
last
they
one.
can't wait.
Yeah, they can't wait. They're itching for it. Yeah. So before we jump in, we need a recap. Chelsea, I believe it is your turn. Please take it away.
It is my turn. This was a very difficult recap to compile because I took 0 notes last session, and it was a long time ago. So bear with me. We start off with a flashback of a younger Prisha waking up on a forest floor. She begins exploring her surrounding and attempts to remember who she is and why she is there. After an encounter with a strange figure that seemingly speaks to her, maybe in a language she doesn't understand, she hears a voice, kind of like a memory, reminding her to stay on the path, but the path is gone. We return then to the present with all of us visiting Denmother and their circle. Jet is giving everyone a tour of his tower, and we've all got unnecessary and rude questions about the bathtubs and why nobody has their own room. So sorry, Jet. We asked Denmother about her knowledge of the power that resides within Alyssa. She admits she does know and still entrusted Alyssa's care with us. Go us, I guess. Titian then informs the party that he's received a message from Eldrin with the Mongoose crew asking about what happened with the family. We kind of discuss how to respond to that. And Yudris leaves us alone to talk with Prisha about whether she should come with us or she should stay with Denmother and Elian and Alyssa. We make it very clear that she's welcome to come with us, but it's totally her decision, and we'll talk to Denmother with her if she wants. We also realized that Katsuda had given Titian a bone necklace, and that item is going to make it much easier for us to scry on Katsuda and hopefully Codex and get an idea of where they are and maybe what they're doing. Prisha invites Elian into her cave after seemingly destroying it, but then reveals that she's actually cleared some space out for Elian so that Elian kind of has her own room while she's staying with them. Elian asks where Prisha is going to stay, and Prisha responds that she's going to Zajar. Grian then borrows his ring of sending from Alyssa and responds to Eldrin to explain our side of what happened with the family. He also reaches out to Kiki's character, who has, I'm so sorry, Kiki, a million names that I can't keep track of.
That's fair.
Titian then has a chat with Denmother about his experiences in Dare's Wharf, his concerns about our friend who's kind of messing with the afterlife. And we all sit down and discuss with Denmother how Prisha is a very important part of the group and we need her to come with us. Prisha, it sparks a huge fight between Prisha and the Denmother, with Prisha basically saying, how do I know that I'm meant to stay here? There's a whole world out there. And the Denmother saying, I've done so much for you. This is where you belong. You're not meant for the world out there. And it basically boils down to Denmother saying, if you leave with them, you don't have a home here. Don't come back. More or less. And then we end with Elian and Alyssa and Prisha deciding to have a sleepover and inviting Ianthe to the girls' night sleepover. A lot happened, and also a lot of nonsense happened.
It was a beautiful session, as I'm sure this one will be too. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Anything else we need to add, friends? There you go. Then we know we did it right. Beautiful. You guys want to play some D&D?
I really do.
You really do?
I really do.
All right.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, it's been a while. I might be a little rusty, but
Maybe
I'm
today
definitely rusty.
Maybe today we'll play some D&D today. Let's do it. Cool. So we will start with Ianthe. I need you to roll me I'm going to say a perception check, and I'm going to say it's with disadvantage.
Aw. No, I don't need disadvantage on perception. Cool. Oh god, that went flying. Cool. It's a 10.
Okay, cool. I'll roll against it here. Okay, cool. Yeah. Great. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. We are going to jump into the next morning after an extremely chaotic and stressful dinner, which we would say would be kind of like later night dinner, honestly. There was some yelling back and forth. There was some heavy trauma that was being uprooted, and all of you are, for the most part, waking up, assumedly, in the tower that Jet had made for you all, besides Ianthe, and checking in maybe a Deem. I think this was something I need to know now. Would a Deem be sleeping in the tower?
No, he had been sleeping just outside the tower against the wall.
Okay,
Leading
cool.
him.
Good to know.
So with them, but not within them.
Okay, I'll say in that case, actually, that's helpful too. Go ahead and also roll me a perception check.
Oh, okay. Processing.
Oh.
19.
19, nice, cool. All right. I will be messaging you something in a second, Jack.
Okay.
But as we are waking up in this very odd place that for a second we're not entirely sure how the morning would look as you guys kind of came in. Well, you guys came in pretty early morning anyways. But I will say as you awaken, there it is. As you awaken, you are doing your morning thing. So wherever you are, as far as like the surrounding sort of areas from the bed, I believe we were kind of discussing. I wasn't making this up, that there was like bunk bed sort of situations. So I would like you all, we're all going to kind of go around, and because it is the new year, and this would be a scene that actually makes sense for it, we are going to actually have you all go around and describe what your character looks like in this moment, identifying maybe changes that had not been there maybe 2 years ago when we started. And I'll say, for the sake of simplicity, imagine that no one knows what you look like. So that's how we kind of would start that. Because you all will be, for the most part, in one place, we're going to start. Actually, no, it's pretty simple. We'll just keep it easy. We're going to start with Ianthe. So Ianthe, as you wake up in the mostly stone and ground, and there was like hay that was kind of mixed in. You see, I believe Eliane was also a part of the sleepover, correct?
Yeah, it was a girls' night.
Yeah, that's right. And then Alyssa too, right?
Girls' night.
Cool, got it. So you see, Ellie and Alyssa actually are sleeping. You actually see Alyssa has. At some point in the middle of the night, kind of like Elian's kind of like slumped up to being like up against sort of a wall, and Alyssa has at some point in the middle of the night kind of like crawled into like basically kind of like sleep on her chest. So it's very, very cute kind of moment to wake up to. But Ianthe, as you are waking up, go ahead and describe what Ianthe looks like.
Yeah. I want to start off by saying, I want to preface real quick by saying, for the girls' night sleepover, I absolutely would have tried to swipe some of that swill that Tishian has.
Cool.
And gotten us just heroically drunk.
Yes, I like that. I like that a lot.
The three of us, and maybe giving Alyssa like one tiny sip.
Okay, cool.
So,
like
Ianthe waking up is Anthe's not a morning person. So if you've ever seen the movie Frozen, when Anna wakes up and she's drooling and her hair is crazy, that's how Ianthe wakes up. But as she goes about her morning, washes up, gets her turns into a person. You see a very tall, very graceful woman with light blue skin and bright white hair that is very long. It looks a little like windblown, but in like kind of a sexy way. Yeah, she's wearing a elaborate golden gown that does not fit the surroundings at all. But fits her like a glove. And she has what appears to be a simple ruby necklace around her neck.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Ianthe, no perception check required. One of the things you do notice as you're noticing this scene, as you see, both of them are actually surprisingly fast asleep. I would say this is probably about maybe, we'll say like stylistically probably close to like 8 a.m. So you notice that there is light that's kind of coming into the cave, but interestingly enough, it does not reach the resting area here, which I think after thinking a little bit about like, oh yeah, Prisha doesn't sleep. There's no reason to worry about that type of kind of like clock system or internal clock thing.
Yeah. Why would you need to know what time it is? You don't sleep.
Right. And speaking of not sleeping and knowing what time it is in Prisha, she's not here.
I think I'm going to try to. I think Kay had mentioned in the previous session, like there's lots of like furs and stuff as like blankets. So I think I'd try to tuck one around the girls, and let them sleep, and then go wander off and see if I can go find Prisha.
You got it. Cool. You exit out from the cave.
Oh my god, it's so bright. Oh my god. Oh, fuck.
You explain that. You see that the table itself actually has been left over from the night before, probably it's been very unceremoniously left. Food, everything, just kind of already laid out there.
I imagine at some point, because we were very drunk and Ianthe probably got on the table to start singing and like kicked a bunch of stuff. She like had her own personal kick line going.
This was right outside Denmother Yudris' door. That's where this table is. So I love that. Yeah, that's good.
We should have an own meeting just where she recounts what happened during the night, so we can just sit back and watch.
Yeah, that's true. Well, interestingly, as you stare across, you actually see an Adim who is, I will say, in this moment, wide awake. But Adim, as the camera kind of shifts over to you, what does Adim look like in this moment? You're muted.
Okay, sorry. One day I'll learn that. Maybe for year 3. Adim is slightly taller. How tall is Ianthe? Ish.
5'10".
Okay, so I'm like an inch taller. So like I'm just barely taller than her. Slightly pointed ears, suggesting he might have elvish heritage, but does not look elvish at all. He has green skin. What?
Nope, go ahead. I forgot to put the images while you guys were doing it.
Oh, okay. I saw you shaking your head. I was like, what?
What? Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'm like, no, really, look
Not today.
That's half of my sleeve. She clipped my ears. No. Green skin and seaweed green hair that's usually braided back in some fashion or tied back. I don't usually let it out when I'm above land, on land, because I'm a water genasi and I would prefer being underwater. There are tattoos in primordial across my body in seemingly important locations, in that like they're down certain parts of my arm, across certain fingers and not others, down my spine, things like that. But you can't really read them because when you look too closely, they tend to move. So even Adim isn't quite sure what they say. He seems like he's pretty well fit for fighting. And right now, Joe, unless I get something that tells me otherwise in a message, Adim is probably throwing his chakram and just practicing, whipping it around trees and doing things to like just warm himself up, stretching. The normal, I'm a fighter and I woke up.
You got it. Cool. I'm going to say, for fun, give me an attack roll.
Oh, great. Because, I'm so good at those. Adim is such a such a good aim. Attack roll. Let me see.
It's a new year. Believe in yourself.
Okay. Thank you for that. 21.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So I think,
come on, year 2025. This is the year for Adim.
So I think there is a I will say with the 21 we see pinpointed on a tree that is nearby. This has been probably going on for a little bit. It might have even been what you woke up to, Ianthe, but honestly it would be very, very it would have been very, very far in the background that you notice is just a little bit louder now.
I got a
As you
10
notice-
on the perception, so probably not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. There is essentially a like almost like perfectly formed like almost like 10 pointed sort of star, now kind of like almost like looking like a flower, where a Deem has been hitting exactly the same spot every single time. Yeah, I'll say like starting out, you guys could converse if you'd like. That's totally fine.
Yeah, if I notice her, I'll catch it and go, "Good morning," and throw it again.
Yeah.
Morning. Do you have to do that so early? It's kind of loud.
Oh, okay. Next time I throw it, I go for some leaves.
We'll carry that 21. There's like a as we see like perfectly cut stem leaves kind of come down all around the tree in almost a perfect, like not quite like 360, but we'll say like 270 as far as the amount of leaves as it comes back to you.
You know, since they're drifting down, as I catch and I get multiple attacks, I'll throw them again and see if I can cut the leaves in half.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Beautiful.
Show off.
If only I could do this when it mattered. I'm really great with targets, sister.
It's New Year.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll start remembering that I'm a bard and should inspire people.
Oh, yes.
As talking in the forms of inspiration, we see the camera start to kind of pan upwards towards the top of the tower as we see figures starting to emerge in the window. It being Grian. Grian, could you please describe what you look like? Any changes in the since the time that you were originally meeting with
I don't think there's a lot of physical changes to Grian. Like, I think he's pretty much got the same stuff on and same look. Still has his arms.
Brag.
Yeah.
Wow, brag marks.
Not here. But I think you'd see as he. I think you see Grian not stepping up to the window, but stepping out of the window. And the like the sunrise light catching the gold in his hair and in his eyes, and he steps out very casually, and as his wings expand to fly up to the roof of this, I think 60-foot tall tower, and he's gonna sit on the roof and watch the sunrise, because I don't think he got good sleep. He was part of this argument with Denmother Yudris and Prisha, and as somebody who comes from a family who is very much like, yeah, let's go, adventure awaits, to have the opposite happen in front of him, like, no, you have to stay here, like, this is the life we built, you can't go anywhere. I think it weighs on him a little bit. It's one of those things, like, you always know that it's out there, but to actually see it and to see it happen to somebody that you care about is a little rough. And even when he tried to help, he hurt the situation. So I think he's just pondering on that.
Okay.
And what that means for them to leave in the morning for Prisha.
Grian, roll me a religion check.
Oh god, okay.
It's a new year, guys.
Oh god.
New Year's, same panic.
New Year's, same rolls. It's a 9.
Okay.
Grian in that religion, man.
I will say I'll tell you what, you know what? This will be a good time to introduce the dice cam. All right. So I need to roll, I will say a 9 or below. Meets it, goes to the player. So if I'm able to roll a 9 or below, we're still good. Something good still happens. Okay. So that's a 16. You just sit there basking in the sunshine of the day.
Yeah.
Cool. As you are watching, I think you facing the sun and feeling it on your face. There's a certain point in time where you recognize that you instinctively start to look to your left, almost behind you, given the idea of where you've come from, which, ironically, based on where you are in this map, would be actually directly behind you. And where you're going. All those signs point west. A little bit further north. So I think from the camera's sort of viewpoint, we just see the sun kind of reflected to the side of Grian's face as you start to think about the mystery of what is ahead. But all you can see on this side are just trees and a mountain region a little bit further out. Also now probably peering out the window, wondering maybe where Grian went, is a certain dragonborn, Jet. Would you please describe what Jet looks like in this moment, and if there's been any changes since we originally seen Jet?
So if you'd have asked this 2 days ago, you would have had a completely different answer. Jet is now, he has tied his robes around his waist. He's no longer ashamed or hiding behind that. Jet is an onyx-scaled dragonborn. And when the light reflects off of him, it kind of glitters. He is covered in scars, and he's now holding a spear, which he just won in a honorable duel. And it's now got carvings in Draconic, and any primordial that Jet knows how to speak, like 1 or 2 words, he's also carved in there. As he is now wielding a spear, standing chest forward, standing as tall as he can. He is now a 1/4 inch taller, but still the shortest in the party. And Jet would be on the 2nd level, looking out the window of the his little reading nook, and just kind of watching as the sun rises, realizing in this moment he's about to have to take down somebody he thought was his friend but was really using him. And he's trying to get into the mindset and trying to, it's my time, I can do this. He's psyching himself up for it.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. Jet, roll me an Arcana check.
Gonna use my new Christmas present. Well, that was a 7 plus 9, so 16.
16. The 16, you notice that wherever it's kind of sitting, whether it's like perched up against the wall or to your side or what have you, this spear that you had won. I'm sorry, you probably did actually specifically say where it was. Where is it now?
He would have it with him, like just constantly, like it's more of a, it gives off the warmth when he's holding it, so he's like, I need this, so he's kind of,
yeah. You notice there's a moment when you see that same sort of like a greenish bluish light that you'd seen before, kind of like flicker a little bit towards the head of it, almost seemingly in response to you having this worry, lots of feelings: worry, anger, resentment, all seemingly. You notice the flicker, I would say, is more of a little bit of a warning of the time it still is needing to take to perfect this newfound connection. So, yeah, nice. Lastly, we move towards move now into the window place, kind of through the nook, and I would say possibly up the stairs. We'll find out as we come to our Leonin friend Titian. What does Titian look like, and has Titian had any changes since we first met?
Sure. I mean, when we very first met Titian, he was kind of a prototypical broke, poor, armored paladin, trying to just survive by taking the odd job. Bulky in frame, a bruiser in every sense of the word. The Titian we have today, though, no longer wears armor. He is much more svelte, agile, but still with lean muscle that can get the job done. He stands at 6'10", towering above everyone else in the party, with yellow fur and long flowing brown mane. Right now he happens to be shirtless because for some reason in this campaign he's lost his shirt 3 different times, and it just happens to be something that happens to him, but just means you can see his abs and the outline of his muscles just that much more clearly. At his side, he has a long saber and a gilded shield on his back that's mirrored. And then on his mane itself, you can see a splatter of kind of iridescence, just full of magical potential.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What is Titian doing this morning?
Titian is squatting down over the fanny sack of holding that we have as a party, and he is counting out all of the bottles of swill because he's so sure he had 45 before he went to sleep. But he's now just only able to count to 44, and he's not that good at math, but he's still trying to account for why is he. It feels like he's missing one, and he's wondering what happened. He's really kind of more concerned that he lost the memory of drinking the bottle, I think, than anything. But he's just trying to figure out what happened to that 45th bottle as well.
Beautiful. Great. Cool. Actually, I'll say, Titian, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Sure. I'm great at investigation. No, I'm not. I'm not good at investigation at all. That is a 9.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna actually check something real quick. Cool. With a 9, as you're probably systematically kind of taking the bottles out one by one. You notice I think you notice you notice the handle that seems to be kind of like sticking out from the, and you don't really recognize the make of it, the like leather sort of the leather sort of like marking of that handle as being something that you're not entirely sure where it's come from, and you go to pull it a little bit, and you see the sort of golden sheen of this, the beginning sort of shaft of a small golden hand axe that you're reminded of as a memory of what feels like such a long time ago.
When Ghost got stabby.
Does the memory bring a smile to your face, or is it something else?
I don't think it brings a smile exactly, as it just brings a recognition of how far we've came. I think it feels... It's that sudden realization of how much you've done in such a short period of time. And for some, in that moment, Tishian feels just a wave of fatigue set in on him as he's just realized how hard he's been pushing himself. And even though it's like, it reminds him of Slagtan, and it reminds him of his colleagues, Aaron, and everyone else that's been along this route, it's still the idea of they've come and gone, and we've gone through different cities, and we've traveled the world, and it's not even been 6 months yet. We've been on the go.
Things happening in a short amount of time makes it feel like 2 years.
Oh, like an almost like a full 2 years, almost exactly like a full 2 years.
As you kind of have that memory, and I think, like shoving the hand axe back into the bag and recognizing either you must have miscounted at a certain point, but maybe there's more that you can pick up along the way, just to kind of fill out that number, just to make sure, because you never know. And you, one by one, you start to put the bottles back in the bag, I think.
As long as I have the 44, I should be set for Zajar, and then no doubt there will be, alcohol of all sorts in Zajar for me to pick up. Probably just alcohol and shirts is really what Tishian's going to be looking for in Zajar.
You guys have to give me a second. I need to rename this session Alcohol and Shirts. So give me 1 second. Do that. Might work better for the algorithm, actually. No. As you do that, I think eventually you're gonna most likely, I assume, make your way downstairs, and as you do, you will see Jet in the library, seemingly maybe staring out his own window.
Morning, Jet. How's it going?
Hey, Tishian.
Hey, I just gotta say, man, kudos again on the digs here. This has been the most comfortable night's sleep I've had in a good long while.
I know. It's been nice, right? I can do this every night if we need to.
That'd be super awesome if you could do... Well, hold on. How much attention are we going to draw if we make a tower every single place we go? Will that be... That's probably not a big deal.
Yeah, they can't get in the door if we put a bubble in front of it.
We can we can do a bubble. So, 2 spells. Okay. Yeah, this logic makes sense to me. Yeah. How'd you sleep, though, last night? Did you do all right?
Yeah. As good as I can.
All right, you sound a little cagey. What's going on? Is there something bothering you?
Well, it's just now we have to go stop Codex, and he was kind of like the only person that would talk to me, and now it's kind of quiet. But also to do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta, kind of kill him, I guess, or at least stop him, and then seal him somewhere. But I mean, he was kind of my friend, so that seems kind of mean.
Are you Well, I guess I can see where that'd be conflicting. It sounds like you're kind of imagining what it's going to be like to possibly kill a friend. In a way, is that what you're thinking about?
And yeah, but also, I don't want to go to Zajar because no one's been there, and I have to write about it, right? So like, at least there's some good things on the way.
I mean, it'll be good to explore, and I mean, I don't, can I be honest with you? I think it's all BS that no one's been back from Zajar. Because, like, who else would
Surely
talk about it?
Right? How do they know what it's called if no one's been there?
Like, it's not called Nothingsburg. It's called Zajar, for goodness sakes. Like,
I think
you
above
know.
board we've never established that you guys know that the characters know it's called Zajar.
Oh, do we not? I
I
thought we
don't
saw it
think
on the
so.
map.
No,
we were told
I
about
mean,
it.
You would have seen like a question mark, but it wouldn't be like marked out as.
Oh, I thought we heard about it.
Yeah, maybe you have. I don't think so, but.
But yeah, no, I think it's. I mean, we gotta go, and I
mean, it's called the Deadwoods, so maybe it's where he's from originally. Because he's kind of dead.
Wait a second. Codex your book is dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always kind of got the impression that he was like a spirit trapped in a stone.
That would explain why he's not in the best of mood, I guess. Then.
Well, he's never in a good mood.
Yeah.
Unless you do something bad. Like, there were times when I was at school and I was teaching, and he'd be like, "Burn the class down." And it's like, if I like made a spark in my hand, he would get happy for a second, and then when I stopped, he would get mad, and then he would just yell at me, and I couldn't hear myself think.
Yeah. You don't want to play with fire at school. That's not great.
That's what I said, and then he was like, "No, try it." And I was like, "If it'll get you to shut up,
Sure. So you threaten your students full on with fire?
No,
Is that what I'm hearing?
not the student. It's when they would go on. It's when they would go on their.
When I
lunch
found
break.
you were like living in the library. Fire was probably not great for. Hey, to each their own, I guess. But
Why would I? I would never bring fire into the library.
hey, if you're gonna say that, I trust it. Wink. But I think we don't know what's going to happen with Codex, and I think it's just try not to put so much energy into something before you know exactly what it is, because a lot of times I think the anticipation of a battle is sometimes worse than the actual battle itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If you've got some time, would you spar with me?
Oh fuck yeah, okay, sure. Sorry, I got really. I thought, okay, yeah, let's fight. Let's do it.
Where do you guys want to spar?
Yeah, I'll do it right
Outside,
here.
yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tower that's
out
gonna
his blade right inside the
Tishy's just pulling out a sword.
He's like, okay.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, the tower I could always remake, so it's fine.
Well, we gotta practice fighting indoors. You gotta practice fighting outdoors. You gotta practice fighting in all sorts of situations, Jet.
Well, okay.
We gotta fight in water. We gotta fight dry land.
I can't swim. Tishy and I can't swim.
Well, it's gonna make you even worse in fighting in water, isn't it? It's not. Let me tell you, your opponent not going to give a damn if you can swim or not. They're going to be there
I will
stabbing.
never be in the water to fight anybody. Besides, we have a Deem for that. He's really good at water stuff.
A Deem can't take everyone on by himself. He's take on like 6 people by himself, but that 7th person is going to get him.
Yeah, but, well, that's why I could use, I can do spells. I can help him out.
Hold on.
I'm not getting in the water.
Hold on. Are you a spell casting guy now? Or are you a fighting guy? What kind of fighter are you now? I guess I haven't really.
Well, I just got a spear, so I wanted to learn how to poke and how to fight.
So are you going to be casting spells with your spear? Or what do you?
Dishing, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know how this thing works.
All right. So you
I'm
need me
trying to figure it out. I'm so glad that I got to make this tower. I might not be able to make it again. Tishian, please. You gotta help me. I gotta figure it out.
Sure. What do you want to do? You want to just go at it? Here, why don't you just hold on. All right. I guess just take your best swing right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
We just got done with a full rest, right, Joe? Long rest. Yeah, just go ahead and take a swing. See what you can do.
Okay.
I'm going to say before you roll for your attack roll, say give me an Arcana check.
I'm going to hold up my shield, so I'm not just like showing my chest. I'm holding up my shield, getting ready to take it.
You have your shield on.
That is a 23.
Okay, cool. 23. First attack. Go ahead and roll as you normally would.
Okay. Can I blade song for this?
No.
Okay. Just the normal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a 21.
Okay. Tishian, does that beat your AC?
It just meets it. It
Okay.
just meets it.
Cool. So I think there is a moment that Tishian, you're able to kind of like throw up your shield to be able to kind of like block out of it, but you feel like there's a little bit, say like where it would be like right on your arm that you can like feel that the spear kind of like sliced a little bit into. So you're taking the damage from this, but there is a moment that I'm going to allow you to roll like a stealth check to show whether or not it actually hit or not.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a full-on stealth check?
Yeah. And
right.
Jet, go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay.
3.
You take 3 damage.
18 stealth check.
Okay, cool. Jet, roll me perception.
Oh, good. And then
It also could have been deception to Tishian if it made a difference.
that's a 12. I don't see much.
Cool. Never mind.
Let's stick with stealth.
Cool. Yeah. So I think Jet, from your side, you hear the like ting, and it's like that kind of like spot where like you really can't tell that you're not used to having a spear. You're not sure what that feeling feels like to even pierce flesh with it. So
The Adim's been kind of showing me, but I can't really. You got a shield, and it's kind of hard to get around it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Enemies are, when you're facing other enemies with shields, they're definitely just going to lay them down in the heat of battle. So that's definitely, this is unrealistic.
I'm just saying I'm trying to learn how to get, and I can't ever get around. It's straight. It's a spear. It's straight, and it's hard to get around the shield because it's flat and it's in a parallel, or it's perpendicular. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
you
definitely need
the mark. Tishian is.
How am I hiding it?
Yeah, how are you hiding the wound? We'll say it was like here, maybe.
It's like up there. I think I'm just like sort of holding the shield up still to sort of block it out. Just like keeping the shield up. Yeah, no, I think it's definitely, I just keep practicing. I think I'll let you try to hit me another time, but
Oh, that was it. I thought we had to go outside and fight now.
Oh, you want to fight? You want me?
Well, you said we had to fight indoors and then outdoors and then in the air. I can do that one pretty easy. I don't know how you're gonna get there. And then in the water, as long as it's like less than 3 feet deep, I'm good.
Sure, if you want. I mean, am I getting a swing back at you? Because I think you're up 1 to me right now.
Sure, go ahead. It's gonna take a defensive.
You take a defensive stance. Grian, Ianthe, Adim, obviously Tishin, go ahead and roll your attack roll on there. But you guys roll me a perception check to see whether or not you heard the clash of metal.
7. I don't think so.
Okay.
Too busy attacking leaves.
Perfect timing of attacking the leaves and making sure you hit them.
I got a 17.
Cool. Yeah, Ianthe, you definitely heard something coming from the tower. That there is a noticeable sound that is different than like someone dropping pots and pans to the sound of a striking force of a metal object. Grian?
Something's wrong.
I also got a 17.
Cool. You also heard this as well.
Yeah, I know. I missed that leaf over there. I'm sorry. I'll work on it.
No, someone's fighting in the tower. Who's in the tower?
Probably Tishin and Jet.
You don't think someone could have attacked them, do you? And I start running in.
Yeah.
A team just looks at her and goes, all right, and throws the chakram again. Like,
I don't remember. You guys
Thank you for your help.
are you guys in the? I don't remember. Are you guys in the top floor or the second floor?
Second floor.
Second floor.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in Adim's head, he's remembering the family in the cave, and he's thinking, if someone attacked Jet, there'd be an explosion, not a.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever.
It's actually the thought, like you throw it one more time and you catch it and you're like, you kind of like look at where you are in vicinity to the tower and like maybe take a couple steps.
Yeah, take a couple steps back and do it again. Yeah.
Green, what are you doing?
I mean, I just left them like 5 minutes ago.
I would say they were either asleep or waking up.
I mean, I guess I'll float down to the window and just take a look at what's going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you float down to the window in time to see Tishian's attack roll.
So Tishian is swinging with the broadside of his sword. He's not trying to slash Jet,
Cool.
but he's just trying to smack him. And I rolled a 22.
Assume that hits.
That definitely hits, but out of reaction, can I attempt to cast shield like Jet would normally do if he's threatened?
yeah.
Just like panic.
Give me an Arcana check.
Now hear me out.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Yeah. Cool.
So I just get smacked, right?
Yeah, you do. Yep, you 100% do. Tishian, go ahead and roll the full damage of that as you are not knocking out Jet, or you're not slicing into Jet, but it will be similar damage.
It's gonna hurt.
All right. 8 points of damage.
Okay. Ianthe, you come running up the stairs just to see Jet just getting. Say, where are you hitting Jet?
I think I'm just sort of like, I'm not trying to embarrass Jet. I truly think this is like Tishian trying to, if he's going to fight with weapons, this is Tishian trying to prepare him to fight with weapons mentally.
Yes.
And also, this is Tishian like, I mean, if you're going to be on the front line, you're going to take a hit, you know. So I think this is Tishian kind of intentionally hitting Jet on like his shoulder. Like the heart, like his upper shoulder.
That spot right there that you know is just gonna immediately bruise. Yeah. Yeah. So
that was the wing he dislocated.
Ianthe and Grian, you're both here to see this. Ianthe, you're at the foot of, or the top of the stairs. Grian, you're at the window.
Tishian, what are you doing?
Oh, we're sparring. We're just doing a little bit of training.
You're
Fighter v fighter.
What?
What?
You see there's a nearby bookcase that actually does because this is this your wind saber that you were using?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. As you slice in and as you slam into Jet's arm, and then as you're saying, like, we're just sparring. You see half of the bookcase just kind of like, as it was full sliced in half, just kind of slides to the floor and just falls to the ground.
Jet turns around and goes, "No, no, those were first edition.
Jet, if your enemies know your weakness is books, they're just gonna keep going after them, man. You gotta have a poker face in battle.
Do you know how long it took to get the entire collection?
And yet
that was
I got
the
him
flora
in
and fauna.
Tisha, you see Jet on his knees facing away from you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be. Well, I got a second attack. I gotta take it, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shouldn't look away. Lesson number 1.
I'm sorry. Jet does a 28 hit.
If it begins with anything in the 20s, yes, it is. Jet didn't even see it coming. Hey, take advantage. Take advantage, please.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm rolling them on D&D Beyond, by the way. I roll the hit, but the damage. I'm not smiting. But I think you just see Tishian. If Jet's on the ground, he's just going to take his sword and just go broadside down on top of Jet's head and do 15 points of damage.
15? Ow.
Just right between the horns.
Right between the horns. You can't turn your back in battle. And he's just going to, like, hit you right on the top of the head.
Okay.
Tishian!
What?
Stop it now! Stop attacking Jet!
I'm not attacking him. We're just sparring.
As soon as he gets distracted, Jet's gonna jump up and try.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, you turn for a second to look at Ianthe as Jet's gonna try his best. Arcana check. We'll do it every turn for right now.
Okay. Arcana? That's a 25.
25 was the DC, sir. So go ahead and roll. I'm gonna say this attack is with advantage.
Nice. Well, a 1 doesn't hit, so let's roll again. 19. That is a 20. 19, 21. 21.
Nice. I'm gonna use my reaction.
Yes.
And use my shimmering mirror shield and just glint off of that to give you distraction. To give you disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
To give the disadvantage. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I would say stylistically, because the man did get a 25, which was the thing to get to be able to kind of have this situation kind of continue on. So I will say at this point, we'll say it leans to that nat one as far as if you hit. But you, Jet, you go to like kind of like thrust forward, and you're not entirely sure if it was you that let go of the spear, but the spear goes flying out of your hands as it kind of flies just past Tishian's face, and it gets really close to Ianthe's face, stops, and then flies back into your hand.
Well, that was neat. Did you see that? Also, don't turn around when you're in a fight. That's what I just learned to do. Rule number 1.
Ianthe, you saw like there was that kind of moment of like it was like right here, then you saw this like weird sort of like greenish sort of spark kind of come out as it moves backwards, as if like almost like kind of like rewinding from where it was.
I am going to yell at both of them.
I'm going to use my yell attack.
I'm going to use, I cast shout.
Yeah.
I cast scolding glare.
Yeah, very much that. No, I'm going to cast, ooh, how nasty do I, you know what, I'm just going to like, I'm going to do a thunder, who's standing next to me? I'm going to go stand next to Tishian, and I'm just going to like, I'm gonna cast a thunderclap.
Okay. Cool. Just trying to kind of push them both away from each other.
Yeah. and just get them to stop. So if we're doing the whole thing, Tishy and I need a Constitution save.
All right. We'll do the whole thing. Yeah.
We'll say like if the idea of like yours, because it's like 5 feet from you. Correct? For Thunderclap?
Correct.
So say both Jet and Tishin.
Okay. Now, Jet, remember you get +4 on the save because you're an ally.
Thank you.
I think both of
Thank
you.
you so much. That might have been the reason I saved.
Oh, God.
There's got to be a certain point that DM kind of like looks up at Grian, and Grian just kind of like meets his gaze, just shaking his head.
Right? I'm like, it's nice for someone else to be the punching bag for a change.
With the
You're just standing there at the window like this.
We're going off. I look up, and Grian's like, "Don't worry about it."
I think you just see Grian like this, and his feet are like kicking in the background while he's just watching it happen.
Oh, okay. And I'm definitely just practicing then. I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
Well, now everybody's getting woke up because Thunderclap's loud, right?
Thunderclap is
real
loud.
Yeah. Well, I rolled an 11, so I'm pretty sure I failed it.
You sure did.
Thank you for the +4. I got a 20.
The 20 saves.
Nice.
All
What
right.
the hell are you two doing? Are we fighting with each other now?
Loud.
Yeah, both. Yeah, Tishin just.
Can I hear
Yeah,
that?
we're
Can I hear that yelling?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What Ianthe are you talking about?
I
What?
walk upstairs.
We were training!
You, Tishin, there's like a moment where you hear someone sounding like they're coming up towards you, but it's like they're underwater, like, or they're like stepping through water. It's like your ears trying to kind of catch the idea of like what is the actual sound that's happening. Is a demon is just stepping up the stairs.
A dame.
Yeah. What?
Is that you?
What? Yeah. I put my hand on his shoulder and turn him around. Yes. What? Ianthe, what's going on?
They were fighting each other. Like, really trying to hurt each other. I was just trying to get them to stop.
My grip gets a little tighter on Tishian. He's had visions before, and I'm like, Tishian,
Right.
What?
what happened?
What?
I pushed him against the wall. What did you do?
What's this about now?
Like,
What?
Jet's
Okay,
gonna go
he's
over and poke a team and be like, we were sparring. Because you fight one way and he fights another, and he said we needed to spar indoors and then outdoors.
So Jet keeps on spattering on. As soon as he said they were sparring, I go to Ianthe. I'm like, they were sparring, and I walk back downstairs.
Yeah.
I just like, I'm a fighter. I know what that is.
Yeah. Adeem, we were sparring.
Oh, they both rolled really well. Yeah, you hear from outside the tower, very very clear for you, Grian. Eliane's voice as she's yelling, "What's going on?"
It's nothing. They're just dicking around in the tower.
What?
Yeah, no, they're play fighting. They're fine. It's
What, can I hear this? Can I hear Grian say this?
You hear Grian for sure, yeah. 'cause you
Okay,
heard him.
Jet's gonna dive out the window and then spread his wings just to scare him.
You see, oh man, actually,
a 6-year-old casts fireball.
This one, you're trying to scare her.
Don't do that.
roll me a.
Give me a
hold on one
performance check. Can I do performance? Like to try to fake it?
No.
Thing?
You performed well. You rolled a nat 20 in performance for the little girl who's just waking up. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom save. No. Actually, that's not too bad. Am I still within however close to get the bonus from
No. Unless it's
Okay.
30. Is it 30 feet now?
Nope, it's only 10.
Okay.
Then that is a 19.
Okay, cool. You fail. As you immediately get frozen in place from where you are, as your wings are just starting to spread out, and you fall 12 feet to the ground. As you see Alyssa just like kind of like threw up a hand to keep you safe, as she casts Hold Person on you.
Can I please have seen that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout down and be like, lesson number 4, always watch where you're going.
You take 7 points of damage.
And I will try to set him up so he's kind of standing in the whole person, and be like, lesson number 5: don't show them your whole hand.
Lesson number 6: you will always lose to a spellcaster.
I think he is a spellcaster.
Not the way he's fighting.
Are we not claiming him? Is that how this is working?
You see both Alyssa and actually Alyssa comes running over Ellie and starts to come running over, and that's when it hits her. It's just, oh,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
runs back into the cave.
He starts laughing, putting Ianthe and that together, knowing where they slept. He just starts laughing because he's been there. And he's like, I've sworn off the stuff. Okay. All right.
You see Alyssa come running over to you, Jed, as you're like on your backs. I'm so sorry. I thought you were.
You did exactly what you're supposed to do, Alyssa. You stopped somebody without hurting them. That is perfect.
You can't jump out of the window that early in the morning. I wasn't prepared.
You shouldn't do that ever.
It's okay,
Okay.
I can't move. Can you drop the spell now?
Oh, I thought I did. How do I stop it?
Just stop focusing on it. Think about something else.
Oh, my bug! And goes running back in. That's what
There you go.
stops Jed.
Ow. Today has been very productive. And Chet stands up and uses the spear to stand himself up.
Man.
This was not how I wanted to start my morning.
I'm gonna pat Jed on the back and just be like, "You'll get him next time," and I'll cure wounds him for.
I don't know. Call up into the tower. I don't know. It's been a pretty great morning.
Has anyone seen Prisha?
Yeah, she's with Yudris.
You sure?
Unless someone made me see something I shouldn't have been seeing with an illusion spell. Yeah, they just walked over that way earlier this morning.
I thought they were still angry with each other.
Aren't they family?
Hey, in my family, when you're angry with someone, you don't talk to them for like 3 days.
No.
Is that why you haven't called your sister?
I don't know if I should or shouldn't respond to that, so I'm just going to throw my chakram over here. So I just...
At this point, Alyssa comes back and yells, "Oh, I found it!" And at the mouth of the cave, you hear Elian just go, "Shut up!"
I'm going to walk to the cave.
Yeah. Alyssa's walking to you.
I'm going to walk past Alyssa into the cave.
What did I? Okay. Yeah. You see Elia just like kind of like huddled under the like the stone sort of table, just holding her temples. Just...
I crouch down. Hey, Elian.
Yeah.
Although it did cross my mind to give you the sailor's remedy for this, I think instead, and I don't drink, but Adim would know, like, here's how to get through a hangover, and so he says, do this. It will help. And like,
cool. You like give like necessary step and she'll actually say like, oh, Yes, like I have had this once before, but not this bad.
Well, you probably drank something pretty nasty. And just in case you ever have an opportunity to, don't drink with sailors. You won't like their remedies.
Okay.
It involves very, very loud singing. He gets up, he walks away.
Yeah, you see her starting to we'll say like you kind of like suggest some sort of like herbal remedy sort
Yeah,
of thing,
just
and she's
anything that Adim has found over his years of being on sea that, hey, this works.
yeah,
You know, if she's broken out in a cold sweat and cold works, he'll cool her sweat down. I don't know what really works, but he'll do his
Right.
best to be like, here's how to get through it. Good luck. I'm going back outside.
You see her Deem, as you kind of like walk out, you see eventually Eliane will kind of come out to the rest of the party, but yeah. So as you guys are probably weirdly enough, like a lot of the food that's left on there, you guys have had like none of it's really in the terms of the fantasy world that we live in, as well as you guys have had much worse probably. It doesn't look like any of the food that's actually been over there would be like too much of it is really spoiled. So you could possibly just take
Some of it has been stepped on, though.
yeah, that's right. You do notice there's like a footprint. There's essentially like a what would be like a sweet potato that is like has a perfect sort of like footprint on it. You can see the like toes and everything from Ianthe's feet.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But it is food.
Yeah.
I'll say you guys, for those that have taken damage, you guys get equivalent of a short rest here, as you're taking your moment to collect yourselves.
Oh yeah, Tishin, you did technically take 6 points of thunder damage, but that wasn't what I was aiming for.
You say 6 or 16?
6.
Okay, all right. Cool. So you guys are all around. You still see that assuming that Adim is telling the truth in the idea of where Prisha is gone, you still do not see them back yet.
I did do my best to tell them where they went. I wasn't...
As much as you know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they went off in that direction.
So, what are we about Zajar? Ianthe?
Please stop screaming. Please stop screaming.
She's right there. You don't have to yell at her. She's right there.
What am I?
She's right there.
Why are you screaming at me?
Sorry.
God.
Well, we had talked about Prisha taking a look in on
That's
our
right.
friend headed that way.
We do need that.
So as soon as she's ready, we can do that, and then I'm okay to prevent whatever tragedy that's going to bring as soon as we're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably leave sooner than later.
God, Ianthe, I just checked. We're out of ginger. Adim,
Fuck.
do we need ginger?
No, but it's handy.
Okay.
What about peppermint? Peppermint can help.
Peppermint, yeah. Ginger's just usually... I see more ginger on ships, but peppermint will work.
Okay, can somebody else check? Never mind, I'll check. Where's Prisha?
With Yudris, they went that way. Very early this morning.
God, I wish I was dead.
All right. I mean, if you guys want to eat, I'm good. I can go find her. Or if you guys want to find her and go from there, we can.
Why don't we all eat and let them have their moment? I don't want to interrupt anything. Oh my god.
Hi there, you come down with a cold? If I didn't know better, you'd seem hungover.
What? Me?
A deep type of a laugh and walks away.
I got it.
Great. Thank you.
Need some
It's so bright out here.
mortal and pestle. Where's the mortal and... Never mind. And this just continues.
Tishian, just hit it with your sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah,
do
you
I
see her
notice-
just hold the bowl out for you. She's actually like still like you, like maybe a little bit drunk, so she's just holding it in her hand up towards Tishian to like use the butt of his sword. Just
Yeah. Hey, Tishian, by the way, I owe you a bottle of alcohol.
Hold on, did you? Oh, you took a. Oh, fine, here. Hold on. Okay, I'll take
That's
it.
what you drank?
I'm just gonna beat it with the butt of my
There's
axe. So.
actually a bar around here. My options were limited, and it was an emergency.
Okay.
Believe
What
me, I
was-
much would have rather had a bottle of wine.
Hold on, now don't take this will then badmouth this will. What is?
It's called swill titian.
Hold on. Well, you know why they call it swill, don't you?
Because it's swill.
Because it's swell. You know what I mean? It's good.
I know, I hadn't heard that before.
Lord.
I'm fine.
Tishian, are you using the golden hand axe?
I just had one of my throwing hand axes that I was gonna use.
Okay,
I can use the golden one if that makes it better for RP. If someone wants to chime in on that.
whatever you think you're using. I'm not changing the story.
Yeah.
I just want to know if while he's doing that, I can see if I actually managed to injure him. Now that he's distracted doing something else.
Okay. Yeah. Perception check.
Good. +1. That is a 14 + 1 is 15.
I'll say with a 15. I'll say actually Tishian roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. That one fell out. So the first one was you said perception check?
Yeah.
First one was a 19. Yeah, let's roll the new one. Second one is a... What is that? Perception check? So first one was... Okay, yeah. So 19 is the one.
19 is the lowest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
You see Jet looking for the wound,
Yeah.
Tishian.
I'm gonna turn and like show the cut that I have right there on my arm.
Cool.
And I'm just gonna go, hey, see this right here? That was a paper cut from earlier. You didn't hit me one bit.
It was when you got thrown back by the spell. Damn it, I knew it. Ah.
Yeah.
I knew it.
You know how I got this one? When I sliced the fuck out of your books earlier. You know what I mean? Now that you've sparred with Tishian, he is going like, he's going to teach you how to fight by antagonizing you. I've decided that. Yeah,
I love that. Beautiful. Cool. So at this point, as you guys are, we'll say a few minutes pass. Eventually, there's a tonic that is made from the remnants of the kind of hangover remedy that that Tishian has helped to make. Elian kind of puts it into into a water vessel, shakes it up a little bit, and immediately kind of like hurts her head and just shaking it and just pours out 2 glasses. And it is, Ianthe, it is at first, actually, I'll say it's this. It tastes awful, but weirdly the aftertaste is kind of nice. As you get this like kind of like hint of like peppermint.
Wow. That's actually not bad. Well done. And thank you.
No, it was
sorry.
all Adine.
Thank you, Adine. This is helpful.
You're welcome.
We didn't keep you up at all last night, did we?
No, I'm used to people carousing.
We were.
Cut
Not
to
quiet.
Ianthe dancing on the table and Elian just like kind of like laughing and clapping hard real quick. It's a quick cut and then quick cuts back. No.
Yeah.
Adib says.
Not at all.
Good. So, does anyone know how long it'll take us to get to where we're going?
No, I have a strange feeling we just gotta keep going west, and we'll get there.
Do we know what we're looking for when we get there? I mean, do we want to find a library, healer? It's not like we know anybody there.
I don't.
Given what you and I heard, it seems that we'll find something.
For all we know, it could be ruins. It's just, I think step 1 is get there.
Right. So, remind me everything that we're looking for there. Adim and I have some sort of connection, possibly a family reunion.
I don't know. Well, with which part of the family?
I don't want to know. And then we're going to look for information about the rods. Was there anything else we needed to do there?
Are we having a book
Codex.
burning as well? I thought we were going after Jet's book.
Right, the book. Forgot about the book. Sorry, brain fog.
Did I miss that? Yeah, so we have to kill a book and whoever it's possessed.
So that'll probably be step 1, is find the book. And then everything else will just sort of fall into place.
I have
Great.
no doubt that the book knows we're going to come after it.
I think that it'll be very easy to get Codex to come after us because I know how much he despises me right now, so I could probably bait him into an advantage or like into a position that's at our advantage, but he's probably thinking the same thing.
Jed, I'm not sure you fully explained to us what happened between you and Codex and why he left you.
Well,
I'm going to pause you right there as you hear just through the trees and a voice that also seems interested as footsteps start to come up and you see Prisha and Denmother Yudris coming back. Denmother Yudris going, yes, I would also like to hear about this mysterious book, if I may. As you guys are, for anyone who's turning and looking this direction, you notice that Denmother Yudris looks a little. She's always had this kind of like form of like being like bent forward a little bit, that kind of like little old lady. You notice that she's leaning a little bit more on this staff that you may notice looks a little different. It's like just it kind of just looks like just like a normal sort of like heavy sort of tree branch. As she's leaning onto it a little bit more, And as you guys are kind of panning over, you notice that Prisha also seems to be holding a staff in her hands. For those that have been paying close attention, it is Denmother Yudris's old staff.
Oh, interesting. We're not talking about that book again, are we? I mean, we kind of have to. We're going to look for it. Prisha, how are you feeling? Elian put together an excellent cocktail that is making my head hurt about 14 times less.
I think in the moment of like asking how you're feeling, and the gravity of like having to revolve around that, there's a couple of things that I would like to have happen in this moment. First off, Prisha, in the slow response to that, I think looking at Denmother Yudris and recognizing the conversation that had taken place, that was seemingly had you come back a little bit cheerier. Both of you a little bit cheerier, but we'll say as we're doing this, because we kind of went around with everybody, we will say, Prisha, what do we see when we look at you in terms of the time that has been spent since you originally joined the party, which I realize has not been as much, but we kind of gave a sort of description thing for everybody here, as if no one has ever seen Prisha before. Describe what Prisha looks like in this moment.
Prisha is a I was about to say decently tall, but I don't think 5'8" is really all that tall.
Not in this party.
She is kind of a little bit gangly in that her arms are a little bit too long, and they kind of sit down at her sides, and as like you follow like the gaze of her arms down, you see these fuzzy satyr legs with the backwards knees, adorned in like strung together makeshift leather bags that rattle with bones inside of them. Her hair is messy as if she slept in a hay pile. Just messy, full of twigs, some dirt caked in. She's got really light brown eyes that kind of reflect the light around her. And she wears her clothes are almost like threadbare, hidden underneath this like white armor that she wears, but it's kind of obvious that she's awkward in it. It's a white leather that feels foreign to her still. And as she holds this staff that is like almost too big for her, like it holds a gravity that like she just hasn't grown into yet, she kind of clings onto it for dear life as she like stands there and kind of takes in the question of how she's doing today.
And I'll say, just to be able to kind of add to this image, given this new staff, you notice that the staff itself has this very weird sort of mixture of like, instead of having that sort of like texture of wood being this like kind of like, depending on the wood, I guess, like all sort of different versions of brown, you see there is a very very quick sort of contrast between what is like almost a blackened sort of wood to what is a very like a very dark I would say like darkened bone material, like a little bit darker than normal bone. It is you see that it is kind of like curved around itself, given that sort of helix-like sort of representation, but eventually seems to kind of like form into itself, as if maybe just like showing off like the helix sort of like formations, like places on where to hold it. Prisha, you would know that it is actually weirdly very. Obviously, the gravity of it makes sense. I love that. It's actually very weirdly light. And at the head of the staff, you see there is actually this kind of this extended skeletal sort of hand that is holding on to what looks to be like some sort of I guess in this moment it kind of like gives a little bit more of like a shimmer of like glass, but seems to kind of transition in between a pale green and a like ghostly sort of white. And at the very end of it, seems to have like a little bit of like a twisted sort of like root sort of texture, as if like glancing out to try to connect to something. Beautiful. So in this moment, I think Prisha being asked, "How are you?" and given the talk you had, and it's obviously it's up to you to kind of brush that off or to describe how you actually are.
Leaning against her staff, I think Prisha takes like a long look at Ianthe and just breaks a smile, like a soft one, just like a I'm okay.
Good. You're not too hungover though, because we drank a lot of swill last night.
Better.
Admittedly, Elian and I probably drank most of it, but you know.
Uh-huh.
We have some hangover remedy. Courtesy
I think
of...
Prisha's just gonna look around for Alyssa. Because, like, she absolutely got in the swill, right? Like...
she's doing fine. I think it was she. I'll say in this, I think she went back into the cave. So I think in this moment she kind of like comes back out and she goes, "He survived," and it's like pointing to the little like sort of like stick figure bug that you left.
I think Prisha's just like squeeze, just ee.
Yeah, Elian's like, it's taking me a little bit longer. That.
You'll get used to it. It happens a lot.
The high-pitched screaming?
Oh. I thought you
yeah,
meant
that does happen a lot, actually.
Well, that too. When she is 6.
Right, yeah. I don't think I'm ever drinking
Mentioning
again.
nothing of Prisha yelling.
Yeah. I love it. Cool. And we'll say, actually, at this moment, Denmother Yudris, who, like I said, just seems to be like in a much better mood than since last night, but does seem to be just like seemingly a little. I'd say a Deem you definitely kind of notices too, like just like a touch like weaker. As she's like leaning a little bit on the step. I owe you all my deepest and most sincere apologies for my conduct last evening. It is it has been a while since I have been wrong about anything, and I forgot how to be humble in that. Thank you all for helping to remind me that the little bit of me that is still human still is like one. Please accept my apologies.
Of course, Denmother. We're very grateful to you. And we like being here. Mostly.
Deem just nods, but seems to have been listening to you closer than usual.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind giving an old woman a seat at the table and squish down a smidge. And she sits with you for a second. If you will allow, I would say, like, if you allow, she would like to be a part of this conversation. But if given any sort of sense of, like, okay, now we change the subject, she'll probably get up and leave.
Jet, you were telling us about the book.
So, well, I'm not exactly sure what happened. 1 minute everything was normal, and then I went and I fought, and then I won, and then I thought to myself, I don't need to rely on the book to get me through everything. Then it wasn't there anymore.
Like, he heard you not need him anymore? That's a little terrifying.
We were kind of like bound by magic. And now I don't feel that, So I mean that's good, but the problem is, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's a ghost or a phantom or something along those lines because he's like in the gym of a book, and I saw him the other night. He's an elf, or was. He's got like wrappings all the way around him and tattoos of all kinds of like arcane glyphs. He existed at some point.
Have you ever told anyone about Codex besides us?
Yeah.
And what did people say? Did anyone else know anything about?
Well, so I told my buddy Pilkip, and he has like 30 familiars, right? And so he was like treating it like a familiar, and was like, you have to talk, and you have to. It was like couples counseling, but for familiars, which was interesting and didn't help at all. And I think it was because Codex was just angry.
Okay.
So he never really told me his name. Just in the book, it said something Codex, so I just started calling him that.
And I apologize if I'm asking too many questions. I just never encountered anything like this before. How did you meet or find Codex? Or did he find you?
So I was in school, and I went on a trip to somewhere that nobody else went because everybody was all scared of it. And then once I figured out how to get past the guards, how to get in there, I found just like a ruined city, and there was like a broken down, I want to say like a church or like a temple. There were like what looked like places for windows, but like I said, it was kind of like nothing had been there. It was real run down. And then there was just a podium, and there was a book, and I couldn't get it to open, so I knocked on it.
Sure, that's the...
Well, the spell. You give it a knock and it opens up.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, doors just open for me.
Sorry, where did you go to find this?
Everybody called it Cross. I don't really know.
You went into the dead city of Karas.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Well, everything was kind of run down, and then I found him there, and I don't know. He might have been like a priest or a speaker because he was like in a church. I don't know, but he always wanted me to do terrible things like burn down a school, or those people are begging, make them beg for their lives. But he was my friend. He would talk to me.
Jet, we're going to have to redefine your understanding of what a friend is.
Well, no one else would talk to me.
Or, I mean, even just a good person, but
That mostly, yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Chad?
Yeah.
Does the word codex mean something? Because you said you saw it in the book, Codex, but
Well, yeah, when I opened it up, it said it was something about the collar. It was something. The title of the book was The Plains Colors Codex, so that's what I called it.
Plains color.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like. Uh,
Denmother, does that mean anything to you?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh.
In your schooling, Chet, did they ever explain what happened to the city of Karas? Jet, you know, like it's a known fact that no one knows.
Yeah. No, everything was kind of. They just said it was in ruin, and never to go there because there's bad things. But you know, I had to prove myself.
Okay. Well, well, there, okay. Many years ago, I've never told you this, Prisha, but there was no reason to. There's not much left, but many years ago there was a young girl that was born in Karas. She was from a very humble beginnings, and her family not being as doting as possibly a mother and father should be. And like looks at Eliane at this. She was given peace, shelter, happiness elsewhere. In a tower that was in the city. His name was Velkaren, and he was not a kind man, but he was good to me because of the little I was able to see and possess in terms of the concept of the threads of magic. He was in constant study in times that was it was difficult to get a proper training from him on how to be able to handle certain forms of magic, but I did learn a lot of I learned a lot about necromancy. And recognizing that what may have left this plane could be found somewhere else. However, there was one something happened one night, and it was very clear to me that whoever I thought Velkarin was, the thirsts had overtaken him. I stopped seeing him, and I started practicing myself. Being in what they would call now a village witch, or medicine woman, if you prefer. I started being able to help my own village, all the while trying my best to avoid Velkarin and the tower. Studying different medicines and understanding how to be able to heal and to prevent those from meeting, from crossing over. I left and traveled north several days in search of some very specific flowers. At the time, there was an army that had gathered from a strange place off into the far east past the forest line. We had seen them on the road before, but not so many. I do not know if they had come for him or not, but when I came back, there was nothing but ash. Even the tower itself was gone. I assumed Velkarin fell to a demise of his own making and took out the
Risha doesn't know what to say, but I think that she's going to reach over and grab Denmother's hand and just kind of kneel down. I don't think she's sitting at the table, but I think she's going to kneel down and just kind of sit with her while she tells this.
It was a very long time ago. It's one of the few memories I still have left of my youth. But, and that was a time before I met Astial, so.
So, Codex comes from your home.
Carawes. That's what it used to be called.
Carawes.
If the spirit of Valkyrin still lives and is trapped in that book, then you are good to be rid of it, and it should be destroyed. He himself will prove a danger over and over again to himself and everyone around.
Do you think we're strong enough?
If he was... It's not important. I think to gauge the power of a group such as this is to measure the love that you have for one another. And I see a lot. I guess I will say if he was in a space that was... If he had his own body back, I would be significantly more concerned.
Noted. Okay. So go stop the book. Simple.
Yes, and, well...
At no point has anything we've ever done with Codex been simple, Jet.
It was for me.
It may have felt simple, but I think there were strings attached that...
No, but I almost did.
You almost what?
Well, you see, he was really trying to get me to leave my body to him as part of like a will. And then I was going to do it, but then I won the fight and then we're separated. And I was going to... What?
You left that part out.
Well, I mean, he was my friend.
Even I know that's bad, Jet. Even I know that's bad.
I am very
Okay,
glad
lesson
that
one.
fate got in the way from you making a very, very stupid mistake.
Jet, lesson 1. Friends, don't ask friends to sacrifice their bodies for them. So just...
Jet's gonna get like a real like stern look on his face and look at you, and he's gonna say, "But if you're in danger, you can always be healed. So why wouldn't someone step in front of it for you? That's what friends do."
There's a difference between helping a friend and protecting them, and a friend asking you to give up your body for them.
Well, it was only in the event that I died. And then it doesn't matter, right?
Well, I mean, according to Denmother, it might have mattered.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, you're right. It doesn't matter now because you didn't die, and Codex has a new body. It's phenomenal. Just maybe something to keep in mind for going forward.
Don't sign contracts. Noted.
You know what? Actually, yeah.
That's actually not a bad rule.
That's actually not a bad conclusion to this conversation.
But it's okay to fight in the tower, right?
It's your tower. What do I care? I didn't know what you were doing. I thought you were fighting for real.
If we were fighting for real, I would have made stuff explode.
You know,
That's what Adim said. I think.
I don't. This camaraderie is making a lot of sense.
If it
Wait, Adim said something?
He did.
I can speak. I just usually choose not to.
Well, yeah. But it's still surprising.
I will say in the formation of what I've heard so far in that story of Jet, that I will give him this, the assurance of feeling little care for a friend's body, mind, or soul does seem to speak very true of Velkarin. So I am even more convinced that that is who we're dealing with.
So we should probably find him, right? Before... What's
Well,
his name?
We
Has
know
a
he's
chance
going to
to
the
die?
Deadwood.
I do not know what you're going to find in Zajar. I only can see the pieces starting to fit for what may come next. But I do know that this bodes a very big this could bode a very big turning point for not only you all, but of Vimea itself. So if there is someone who is beating you in that race, yes, it's very bad.
Is it worse that he knows about Alyssa?
I was just thinking that.
It's certainly not good.
I was just about to say the same thing.
And he also knows that we're coming to see you.
I have not seen Velkarin since I was a young woman. I certainly doubt he would. Have you talked to him about me?
No, but he's kind of always around. Or was. So, like, anytime. Because there have been several times where the group has spoken about you and things, caught me up on what had happened. And then also, he said something about making a deal with. And Jet's going to look around. Is Alyssa here?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to say making a deal with. Does he know it's... I don't think he would say it out loud, though. With the rod. And also he spoke to a different rod?
What do you mean?
Oh, you don't... Okay. So the... You guys know when we were at the family and we kind of left there in a hurry and the whole, world was being ripped apart?
Yes.
Well, Codex kind of
A vague
left for a
memory.
while and went and said something about talking to a different rod and, wanting to hear their side of the story.
Well, board, I don't think it was ever said, I'm going to go talk to a different rod.
That's true, but it was kind of hinted at.
I'm just saying, for everybody here who's hearing this, this is not verbatim.
He said he was going to go talk to whatever was causing the big eruption.
you guys talk to Denmother Yudris about this? What happened with the family?
No.
I don't think
I
so.
think definitely not in game.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Cool. The tremors.
Oh. Yeah. So we went to go see some other druids, and they did not like me.
Surprising.
I don't think they liked any of us, but these ones tell me that at some point they might have. And there might have been an explosion.
How big of an explosion, dear?
Trisha's just gonna look at Jet.
Jet's just gonna go real big, real bad.
Pretty big.
And is everyone safe?
No.
I don't think the tree's there anymore.
Some of the druids died. Well, I'm pretty sure one of the druids died.
Someone tried to hurt Alyssa and Grian.
Yeah.
And Titian.
And we
one other part you guys are leaving out.
They attacked us because they wanted Alyssa.
Wait, who else?
Who else? Trees were falling with houses attached to them.
Yeah.
Wolf.
No, I'm saying
no.
We kind of ruined the city.
People are
the body
not
count
safe.
is probably a lot more than a couple druids.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you meant.
That's the big thing I will say that she's listening for.
Yeah.
I mean, Jed's not gonna lie to her. He'd just be like, "Yeah, I threw a big distraction after they were attacking us, and it didn't just distract them. I woke something up, and it tore through the town."
I don't know how many people survived.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
I want it to be known that it was a complete accident.
Well, the destruction of the people's homes was an accident. Me trying to kill Cavish was not an accident.
Oh, no. What I did to Cavish was absolutely not an accident. The destruction of the homes was.
Yes.
Okay. Did you happen to see...
Can I throw an insight check to see if Denmother reacts to, like, the name of Cavish? I want to see if there's, like, a familiarity. To see how well she actually
she did not seem to have any reaction at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Was there... you had to probably run out of there. Did you happen to see... There was a man there who was going to be very important for some things that were coming up. His name is Demoran Venrona. Did you happen to run into someone by that name?
Oh, but we did throw a party. What does he look like?
I don't recognize the name.
We didn't really introduce ourselves to a lot of people.
Well, from my understanding, the Venrona family were attacked in their sleep in South Imea about 4 or 5 weeks back, so I don't know if there was any lasting changes or effects, but this figure would have had long black, greasy black hair, elven face.
Does that sound familiar?
So, weirdly, no, but I'm gonna say anyways. Give me a history check.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
He wasn't the one hanging out with Basile,
was he? That's a nat 20, baby, for
nat 20?
21.
Okay, cool. So here's
Are we all rolling history checks? Or?
Sure, if you want.
Okay.
I'll say the nat 20 is gonna get it, but
yeah,
I think I got a 17.
I got an 18, which is weird. So
So I would say this is truly like me being nice. I would say this is a DC 20 like sort of thing because the description does not match this person at all.
No, if I.
But you do remember there was an individual that was odd and seemingly did have long straight hair. Did have long straight hair and was elven, but his hair was bright white.
Oh yeah, him I remember.
Yeah, he was the one in the crowd during your concert, right?
The one that was limping away, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't recall any elves with black hair, but there was a strange elf with straight white hair, and he was injured. Kept Basile busy for quite some time. But that's the only strange elf I could think of besides Basile herself.
Okay. Well, from my understanding, he did go north, so maybe I don't know why he would change his hair, unless that was...
Maybe he's feeling something different.
Yeah, okay. No, that might have been him, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's alive or dead, but we have some friends in the area checking it out, so I can always ask them to take a look.
Okay. Might be worth reaching out.
Who are the Van Rona family?
Looks
and why
at
are they important?
Looks at Eliane, and there's like a moment of like hesitation. There's a moment that you kind of like see a little bit of like a... I don't want to say this with certain people at the table, but she's at a negative with you guys, so I think she's... the Van Ronas are they were one of the richest families in South Imea. They had their own village between Grifton and Novasol. They were a family of suffering is not the right word when it comes to them, as they were very proud to admit that they were connected to a form of lycanthropy.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, I get it. Being an animal is really cool.
Yes, well... You know, most people consider me to, looking at the black and who I served, that there's a possibility that I was evil, and, I did almost get hanged for it. So yes, that's true. There's a... Perspective is everything, but I will say that lycanthropy is not a subject that is very, that is divulged with a smile among those discussing the transformative rituals involving magic.
Oh.
To be fair, South Imea is really strict on everything not normal.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I haven't been on land for too long. What are you talking about? And I'm basing it on the fact that there's no aquatic lycanthropes. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Jet's smiling the whole time when Adim says something, and he looks at Adim and goes, "So lycanthropy is like," and it just goes into detail about what it is. It just goes on.
Yeah,
I love Jet.
Yeah, and you would clue into like it is I think like giving that little like actually sort of twist sort of things, like, well, people really kind of like assume that it's actually all werewolves, but really there's actually like a whole sort of form of lycanthropy that goes into different sort of and and right. Yes. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just getting lost.
No,
You know, you're right.
that's
I haven't seen.
totally fine.
Could you be a were seahorse? That's interesting.
Anyways, yes, it was sort of this kind of worst kept secret that the Van Verno families were. When you were a member of the family, the Van Verno family, that was usually specifically saying that you were carrying the curse. But
The family? That's what they called themselves?
no, they called themselves the
Oh.
Venronas, but if you were the yes, there was something got to them, and they were very fortified. Felician, the head of the household, was an extremely powerful person, both politically and magically. From what I understand, everybody got wiped out. Actually, the assumption was for a long time that they did, until from my resources I found out one survived. And actually, I'll roll to see how much she knows about Demorin. Okay, cool. That makes more sense. The Venrona that survived is, ironically, the one that I would assume to be... Honestly, actually, I would hope to be the one that would have died the earliest and the quickest. His form of the curse bowed him another strange gift of being able to feel. Well, the story goes is that he was able to feel the pain of his family.
Oh.
Felician would be the type of person that would use that as a weapon or a beacon, knowing where his family were and if they were in danger.
It must be so quiet now.
That's horrible.
Yes, well, if your gift is feeling the pain of others and all those were killed in their home, I can imagine that would be enough to change someone's physical characteristics. This is all mostly from old age, but I can't say I don't have a couple of hairs that are from stress itself.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
She pats Denmother's hand. Yeah.
Well, I guess
Worth it in the end.
Speaking of changes to people, should we be off before
Yes, you should.
Codex finds a new body?
Yes. I will search my home and see if there is something that I might be able to help you out in the journey. Hopefully, at least being able to give you some food to keep you on your way. But I will just say, once you get closer to those dark woods, just stay on the path.
Okay. Prisha, do you want to do your scrying before?
What did you say?
Good again.
Stay on the path.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, my scrying. Yes.
I will check my things. And you see, like, in this moment, Prisha, you have your hand over Denmother Yudris. Is there any sort of sign of that shift there in that hand holding?
I think, yeah. I think the phrase catches Prisha kind of by surprise, and she probably squeezes Denmother's hand before, like, moving away when Grian kind of redirects her.
Yeah, I think like in that moment, like as she's getting up, we'll say that the hand's still there, and she like kind of like is trying to kind of like adjourn this meeting a little bit. So I think like she kind of like holds onto your hand a little bit. Are you okay?
Yes, that I don't, it sounds so familiar, just the phrasing. I'm fine.
Well, familiarity usually is a way of fate telling us that we're going the right direction. So, excuse me. And she goes into the cave. And we'll say with that, as you guys are collecting your things, we'll take our 10-minute break. See you guys in 10. All right, welcome back. So, as you start to collect your belongings, I think Jet takes down everything that would be important in the tower, and I think you all are kind of like meeting together for your final goodbyes. Denmother, you're just gonna have a couple things. I'm still just kind of working on getting that ready. So, Jet, as you're coming back, are you? What's the end sort of thing with that tower? How long does it last?
It lasts 24 hours.
Okay, cool. So it's probably on its way to disappearing, anyways.
Also, Prisha is gonna cast. It takes 10 minutes. No. Yeah, it takes 10 minutes. Prisha wants to cast scrying on Codex, or on the book, or I guess the mental, or because I don't know if it has to be. It says a particular creature that you choose, but I don't know if Codex counts as a creature since he's inhabiting a book.
Well, we also have the necklace. You can scry on the guy whose name I can never remember.
Katsuda.
Bone Daddy is not acceptable. Katsuda.
Well, Bone Daddy, but I think I know Codex better, slightly. So, either way, it would be a wisdom save, if it works.
To scry on Katsuda?
Yeah, that's his name. And I think that he... my save modifier is just the normal, I believe it's 15.
15? Okay, cool. I would like you to also roll me a wisdom save.
Oh.
Codex is playing dirty.
Right, just we thought it was going to be easy, guys.
I
thought it was going to be easy. 26.
Good God.
Yeah.
Plus 7 wisdom, baby.
Woo!
Nice. Cool.
Are you within 10 feet of Titian? Because then you might get a +4.
20, yeah, that's enough. For sure. You are, it's enough to be able to notice, you, I think what you initially sort of see is, a scene of a grass sort of field, looking very familiar to where you left. Actually, I would say that you see the tree, Grian's tree, in view, just kind of off to the left sort of side of the vision there, and then you see the figure look down at this open book, and you see there is writing suddenly appears on it, saying, "And who do we have here?" And then with that 27, you're able to wrench yourself out from the that scry. Rolled a nat 20. You're muted.
Yeah, of course you can't hear me. 'Cause I muted myself. As she pulls herself out of the scry, she's just gonna reach out for the first person on her left. I'm not exactly sure who that would be, but she's just gonna reach out and just stabilize herself.
Cool.
It could be me.
Green feels the wings. Grian. He's at your tree, and he knew I was looking for him.
Okay. So that might make it a little bit harder in the future. But we know where he is. He's not there. So we should go.
Mm-hmm. We should go.
Okay.
She's gonna let go and pick the staff back up.
Eliane is there, and no time for the long goodbye, which is honestly great for me. Kind of just motions towards the list and just kind of just I think just like mouths, doesn't even like can't even like say it out loud, just mouths, thank you to everybody who'll be looking in her direction.
Yeah.
Well, if all goes according to plan, we'll be back soon. This isn't the last time you're gonna see me.
Try to make sure the onions are in the right spot this time.
I think Prisha, probably against Eliane's will, is gonna pull her into a hug.
Yep, and you immediately get the feeling of like, yep, not a hugger, got it. Like as you're okay, he's present in the perfect position for me. There we go. Okay, cool.
My internet died, guys.
All good.
It was perfect.
Hello? Do I exist once more?
You do.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Is everybody
great.
here?
So
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Well, Kay gets their stuff situated. Is everybody here? Or is everybody off doing something?
great. Sorry, my internet died. Prisha, in pulling her in for a hug that she doesn't want, Prisha's just gonna like pat her on the back and be like, "You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great." And then she's gonna let her go.
Okay. You got it. So upon what Brandon was asking, is everybody here? You guys, I'd say like, you guys probably have like minutes before the tower like disappears, honestly.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, I'm with the party. So yes.
Cool. Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be, no, I'll do it. I wanted to wander and follow Denmother for a quick thing.
Okay, cool. I think what you see is you see her like kind of you go into the like you see her like kind of like move as quick as she can into her like kind of like cave. As you like kind of stand at the entrance, and then like there's once again this sort of like thing of like, can I enter, can I not? You see her kind of like come out and like almost kind of like knock into you. Oh,
sorry.
Yes. No, follow me. Follow me. Come on.
Oh, okay.
And starts to kind of walk once again west.
I wanted to see if there was something I could do to help you. They've got everything under control over there.
Yes. Can you climb this tree real quick?
Is there anything else I could do? I could go find...
No, that's fine. Just, do me a favor. Can you just give me a lift? As she's gonna go do it.
What? Oh, okay.
You gonna let the old woman do it? Damn, my auntie. Just kidding.
I don't like heights.
You're gonna let my mom be on a ladder? My elderly mother?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I don't like heights.
Is it really unbelievable?
With the help of Ianthe, it was a 19. She does fine. She managed to kind of like pull herself up, and it's like
you can't tell me this woman doesn't climb trees all the time.
Oh, she does all the time. But like I said, she's a little bit more fragile now, seemingly. So she goes and like kind of like climbs up, and then you notice that this tree looks completely normal as far as like from your sort of perspective, Ianthe, unless you want to roll me like a DC 20 nature check.
I'll give it a try.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I have to roll a nat 20 for it, but why not?
Why not?
Let me check. Yeah, it have to be a nat 20, but why the heck not? No, it's an 8.
Cool, you got it. Looks like a tree. You see her pulling like this very long, like almost as she pulls it down. It's like, it doesn't even look like this is a tree that really grows these types of leaves, but it's there in the specific sort of spot here.
She kind of like disappears a little bit for a second too, so it's really kind of hard to see exactly. But you see her kind of pull out what looks to be like a. The only thing I can kind of equate it to is like look like a bay leaf if it was like 3 times the size, so about this big. So yeah. Okay, good. Okay, that's
Right.
one down. Good. And she's gonna just continue to be doing this. She's collecting something real quick.
Okay. While she's doing that, I had a quick question for you that has really nothing to do with anything, but we were talking about the lycanthrope family, and it got me wondering. What could you tell me about the Barathonet family?
Oh. Well, obviously you're familiar with some of their offspring.
I've met one, maybe 2.
From my understanding, a very rich family in the southern, in the capital, South Emir. Why do you ask?
Are they bad people?
I don't believe that exists. The concept of a bad person usually stems from a perspective that is leaning opposite in what they find to be important. I know very little about this family, but I don't believe they're bad people.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask.
You're holding a secret, and I would like to offer my ear, but I won't push. Losing you for a second. Sorry. Try again.
Ah.
There you go.
I met Lavelia, and she seemed perfectly lovely. Lavelia has an older sister, Sabella, who left the family. And Sabella is my mother.
I see.
And there's this whole part of me that I never knew existed. I guess I just wanted to know what sort of people I come from.
You have been... You have been cursed with a great gift, Ianthe. You're given the opportunity to save the world. I can think of a number of people who would do anything to be in your shoes. But I can only think of one who would fit them. The sacrifice of your time and energy focusing on the things that are that promote the safety of the ones that you're interested in. I've never ever wanted to say this less, but there will be a time for that.
Now's not the time. Just thought I'd ask.
But when that day comes, anything I can do to help, I'd be very happy to.
Thank you.
Now it's going to smell like shit over here. Just, block your nose.
Well, great.
She like takes just up, and she gets full like old woman gardener into it.
I love that.
As she like kind of like digs and like pulls up something that is like a deep heavy root.
And I'm like standing on the end on like tiptoes, trying not to get my dress in the mud.
Hold my basket,
She is
please.
so precious, Mom.
Yeah. Auntie, hold my basket, please.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. It's really got a lot of dirt on it.
Dug it. Yeah, she dug in first, and then said, "Oh, I need someone to hold the basket." So like she's using that same hand to like hand it off to you.
There's a lot of dirt.
It's good. It's good for the soil.
Yeah. Wow, you weren't kidding about the smell. Oh.
It's very useful. Keeps you awake when you need it.
And then like kind of now comes up to you and just kind of like dumps a very long root that like you see like crumbs of the dirt seem to like kind of like flake off towards the ground and towards your feet.
Like dance out of the way.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're done dancing, I need my basket, please.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just follow her.
Okay, let's go. And she begins to turn back. As she comes back, Brandon Puryear asks, now everybody's here.
Yeah.
She says, 5 minutes, and then there's no door. Yeah, there's no door. 5 minutes, and she like goes to like close the door. It's not there, and she just walks in. Green.
Oh no, nope. I was just. Oh fuck.
Okay. All right. Cool. In that process, I would say, does anybody go up to Alyssa? We can hear you. You're just.
Oh, okay.
You're
My-
off time.
No, like my mic is not doing the thing, so that's it.
I'll go.
I also wanted to talk to Alyssa, but I can wait if somebody else does.
Yeah, so everybody, someone else jump in. Alyssa kind of is doing this thing where she's just kind of like looking around and like, there's no good choice here.
My thing was just like if everyone wasn't here to call everyone together, but that's it.
Gotcha.
Heard the cats.
I'm going to. Hi, Alyssa, over here.
Yeah.
All right, come over here. I need you to hold Barb while I load her up.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand Alyssa the reins. She'll be like, all right, just hold her steady as I start, and I'm gonna start loading stuff up there.
She just keeps pulling, and you feel like Barb like consistently just like the neck continuously going back.
Yeah, I'm gonna like. I think I have a telepathic bond with Barb. I'm just gonna be like, just let the kid hold you. Goodness sakes, just please, just let the kid hold you. I'm just trying to occupy her hands right now.
She's leaning even further back to kind of like see what you're doing. What are you doing?
No, just no. All right. So, you gonna be good here, Alyssa? Well, you feel good with where you're at and everything? Yeah. All right. Well, you're with your sister. This is a good spot for you. You can't cry, because if you cry, I'm okay. We can't do this. We both can't do this. No, you need to.
She
Alyssa,
like hugs
if you make
Barb's neck now. This Barb is like, ah.
Shut up, Barb. All right, listen. All right, you're gonna have the best time here, with your sister and grandmother Yudris. Just, try not to, run off from them and just stay with them. And I don't know.
She takes this moment and leaps off Barb onto you. In this moment of this, Titian, you're kind of like catching the awareness of like the full trust of doing something like that. Like she's like 5 feet off the ground and she's like jumping off. First off, Barb once again just goes as being like pushed away. But yeah, she's just trusting you to catch her, as I assume you do.
I immediately judo flip her and throw her against a tree. No,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Get off me.
No,
yeah. So she's just like kind of like hugging around your neck.
Does she feel fiery in any sort of way?
Yeah, good question.
Ooh.
No,
I'm starting to wonder if the stress. The 2 and a 3.
Yeah, which is
I don't
good.
know what that means. Oh, is that good?
Two and a
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. Tishian's probably taking stock and just wondering about the stress of us leaving. He's trying not to add to that stress.
Yeah.
By being overly sentimental or anything like that. Just sort of trying to. All right. I'll give her
okay?
just a nice hug. Well, I can't promise that. I do a lot of dumb
Promise
things.
it.
I can't. I'll do my best to not die. And if I do die, then Prisha is going to bring me back and it will be fine.
Wow. Okay. Well, then just say yeah. Okay, I won't. That's not the okay. Come back. I guess is as a living person. I wasn't aware that I had to like. This is.
Listen,
starts to climb off you like. I guess I'll clarify with the rest of the group. She starts yelling now. Clarify with the rest of the group. Everybody, come back. Alive. That is alive. Like points to like Prisha. Like that is originally alive. Okay.
Prisha just gives a thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do our best, Alyssa. All of us, every single one of us, and Tishian's gonna look exactly at Grienne. Most of us will do our absolute best. To stay alive on this trip.
Fine, I'll find some fucking diamonds. Jesus.
Okay. God, it's so good that Denmother Yudris isn't here for this because she would also be like really hard truthing her right now. So she's inside. She's inside.
Yeah, just dunk on this child. Let's
No,
do
she
it.
would just be like, no one can promise those things. Fate takes its own. Like, nah, dude, I don't need that right now. Get out of here.
I just don't want to lie to a child, Joe. I just don't want to lie to him. I'm kidding.
Fine. Yeah, no. Yeah. So she kind of like hugs. She hugs Barb's leg one more time, as Barb is giving you a look of like, get this child off me.
Tishine is just gonna look at Barb and be like, count to 10 and just let it happen. Just let the kid hug you, and then you'll never have to do it again.
And then she lets go.
Yeah.
Cool. I think at this point, kind of like Alyssa starts to take charge and kind of like runs over to Adim.
Adim sits crisscross applesauce in front of her and says, "Remember when Ianthe and I taught you how to swim? I have homework for you."
Teach Eliane how to swim.
No. Oh. She knows how to, I'm sure. Oh. And he will create some water in the cup of his hand. You know that I can do this, and you know that what I can do and you can do are the exact opposites. Right?
Okay, cool. Does the same thing, and you see this like sort of weird sort of swirl of fire appear in her hand.
Perfect. I said, lots of people think we're opposites. And we are. But, and I make the water go away, I said, all of the elements have things in common. All of them. You have a tendency, what you can do, not you, but what you can do has a tendency to burn bright and then go out. And what I can do tends to last for a very long time and finally get where it wants to go. But yours can do that too. Do not burn out. Learn to be a slow burn. And what I'm asking you to do is, whether it's the next time I come back, or the time after that, or the time after that, I want you to show me how fire can be a slow burn. And all the time I was saying this, I was slowly collecting water under her feet. So hopefully she would notice it.
Okay.
And I look down and I say, kind of like how you're standing in a puddle right now. And you didn't notice.
Okay, cool. Adim.
Yes.
Roll me a whatever it is with advantage, but I would say like probably an insight, I think.
Uh-oh. Okay. Insight, sure. And that's, hopefully I'll get better than that. Okay, the second one was a 14. I'll take it. 14.
14's good. So there's a moment that you've said a couple things that you recognize you're actually talking to two entities here.
I was hoping to.
Yeah. The second one.
Uh-oh.
You see, like as you say like your all of these elements share something in common. You see a flash of red that kind of goes into her eyes, and you see her smile hasn't changed. Her facial, like nothing's really like changed besides that. As you send the like kind of like puddle of water underneath her feet, you notice that she didn't notice this happening, but you notice that like right in front of her, a little bit of that water goes, instead of like going to like steam, goes straight into starting to boil.
Is it possible that I noticed that? Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done.
You noticed that, but I would say like what you're going to see is because like in controlling it, because of the words that you said, like you'll see like she's not even aware that it's happening, but somehow she's fighting against it.
Good.
So that's what you're actually able to see is like the boiling water would be starting to spread, and it stops right here and seems to kind of then like stop into steam that kind of comes in front of her face. She gets kind of confused at that.
Okay, well, she'll figure. I said it doesn't have to be next time you see me or the time after that, but one day I want you to show me the slow burn, because I start getting up, like to my knees, but not all the way up. I said water can work its way through stone over time. Just takes time. And I'll give her a hug.
Okay, you got it. Um, I'll take one away. Oh, glad I took one away. You took 10 points of fire damage.
I'm resistant, so have it.
There we go. 5. Cool.
Okay. I'll take it.
So yeah, so you she like kind of pulls away from you, and you notice like some of your like the leathers like seem to kind of like catching her a little bit like more burnt.
Yeah. I felt it happening, and I don't pull away when it does.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. I'm rolling like crazy opposites on this. She's still not noticing it's happening, so she just kind of and you actually felt, because I took one die away, it feels like there was something that kind of triggered something, and she's managed to be able to kind of pull it back in, but because it's, you know, it's hot, it is like taking a second to kind of cool back down.
I'm just trying to get her to find a way to gain some control over something uncontrollable. I get impression ignivirus is uncontrollable fire. Yeah. So,
yep.
long-term
cool.
Long-term homework assignment. So there you go.
I love that. Cool. So yeah, and I would say like I guess it's worth saying above board. You guys kind of you did your sort of like long goodbye sort of thing here. So don't feel the need to draw this out. I will say anybody who wants to, obviously, please, we're here for that. That's the role play sort of thing. But I don't want you to feel forced to. Is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, so she will continue kind of down the line. So if there's anything anybody wants to specifically do as Alyssa's saying goodbye to you all.
As she comes up to me, I wanted to give you something. And I'm going to pull out the, what do I have? It's like the shell of summoning or something. It's the Aquaman shell is what it is.
The shell phone?
No, not not my mirror that I use for Daphne. It is singing seashell.
Okay.
I want you to keep this for me. I want you to remember all of the times that we've had together, all of the adventures we've had together. And who knows, maybe if you use it, you could call me to you. Probably not, but, you know. Just don't forget me, okay?
I couldn't. And you see her kind of like tuck it in. And I'll say, this is actually the first time I'm saying, I have to give me a investigation check.
What is my investigation?
5.
Okay. That was, I think the role was to be able to see like more than that, but as you notice, like she's had like a relatively like, she's had that like kind of like jacket sort of high collar sort of look, and you've never really actually noticed that she has another necklace, but you just see just the band of it. That's all you see.
Well, anyway, we said our goodbyes, and I don't want to become a big mess, but just listen to your sister, listen to Denmother. Remember to do your breathing, and everything's going to be fine.
Does this hurt? She like touches your hand. You feel it's very warm, but doesn't hurt. She comes up and hugs you. I think you're muted. Yeah, we lost you. we'll say as you're figuring that out. Yeah. So embrace kind of breaks off. As you're like Prisha, as you're like kind of like maybe like waiting for your turn, you see Denmother, you just kind of like, psst, hey, come here, please.
And Prisha will do just that. She'll laugh a little bit at the psst, but she'll
Yeah,
come.
She's never really done that before.
Yeah.
She's never needed to. It's only been you two. Okay, so I have a couple of things, but this is okay. And she pushes a pouch into your hand. These are a very last precaution. There are things in this world that are worse than death. These are if these things take hold of you. She hands you a pouch and you feel that there are 6 seeds in them. And you can ask if you want. But
What are they?
deathroot seeds. It'll only take a minute. And it's painless.
Oh. Oh.
Last precaution, of course, but like I said, we don't know what you're facing in there.
Thank you.
Some Astial's embrace and gives you like a small little like kind of little sort of satchel of dried flowers. I'll give you like what these things do. I'll do it now.
Cool.
When
Cool.
burned, creates an aura of calm emotions within a 15-foot radius for 1 hour.
Cool.
Also, undead within the aura must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be turned. So,
Damn. Okay.
And then she gives you this very fine, like, white powder. This, I think, just for fun, just to kind of switch it up a little bit, I think you actually know what it is. It's cocaine. No, it is.
Yes.
It's harvested from a pure white flower. Pure white, like kind of like plant, like it's like somewhat like a moss. It's called ghost moss. So it's ghost moss powder. But she's taught you this before, I think. Tossing it into the air in front of you reveals invisible creatures.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There is a substance that is shredded hollow root bark. That this is something that you would also know. Ingesting this bark will help you mechanically. Will regain a spell slot up to 3rd level, but you suffer 2d6 necrotic damage. And then she will give you a couple of what would be. I would say just put them down as lesser health potions, but they are like a poultice type of, or a standard healing potion. She'll give you 2 of them. Actually, here. She'll give you 4 of them. I rolled a 4.
Hey.
Prisha,
Denmother?
We've said this before. Make sure you keep these separate. Yes.
Keep them separate. Absolutely. And she's going to put them in different pouches.
Nice.
Okay, good. You didn't lose me.
No, yeah, no.
But yeah, she puts them all in separate pouches. And then I think she's going to rest the staff against the wall. And I think that when in the past, if it's ever happened, that Prisha has hugged Denmother, I think there's like this sense of like their power imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Where like Denmother is like her elder and her parent. Like if there ever has been like physical contact like that, I think in this case Prisha wraps her arms around her and pulls her into a hug. And I think it's this like Prisha is engaging or like instigating this like, I see you, I see what you're doing, and like I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely feel that dynamic shift. And you're not entirely sure if, like, when she handed you the rod, that's not a rod. It's not a rod. It's not a rod. When she handed
Prisha's the god of death!
she handed you her staff, there was a like, the de-attunement, right? The unattuned sort of thing really did seem to take a lot out of her. So you're not entirely sure if this is temporary or if this is what she is now. But it's, yeah, she seems the hug feels very like you feel her bones, and so it's like everything is like, even like the, like as she kind of like returns the hug, it's not conventionally comforting. That's the best way I can put it. But it's comforting.
When Prisha like lets go and kind of takes a step back and grabs the staff again, she is going to square her shoulders, much like she would if she were like doing the horned one thing. I'm coming back. You will see me again.
As long as one of those things are true, I'll be happy.
We don't fear death, Denmother.
No, we do not.
Let's go. And she's gonna turn and kind of walk out.
Yeah. Cool. And Denmother kind of walks out with you. Yeah. Any other goodbyes you guys want to do here?
I'm going to kind of like get down on Alyssa's level. We're done this. The next time we see you, you're gonna be strong and kick our ass. Got it?
Well, can we? I mean, if we tried now, I think I'd get. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna like pull her head into mine, while covering her ears, and I'm gonna kiss the top of her head, so she can't hear me. But I'm gonna whisper, "Keep her safe, Ignivirus." And then I'm gonna kind of pull away and look into her eyes, but also past them. If you need us, you know how to reach us. And then I'm gonna touch the ring of sending I gave her, dangling from her neck. You'll be okay, okay?
There's sort of like flash of fire in her eyes, but she doesn't seem to notice. She just kind of, okay.
All right. Are we ready, guys?
Ready.
Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay.
Tishian's gonna hug Denmother Yudris before they go, but we don't need to repeat that. That just happened.
Oh, please don't break me.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, careful. Okay. All right. Wow, you're a
I'm a
You're
good hugger,
very
I know.
big. Yeah, you're a very big. I appreciate the hug. You take care of yourself. Remember what we talked about.
I will. Bye, Denmother.
Goodbye, everyone. And good luck.
Thank you for everything.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back.
I would say to try to keep Precious safe, but as I can see, she is in charge of her own destiny now. So I won't. Let her get hurt. I don't care.
I mean, we'll try to avoid it if we can.
It's fine.
Or she's gonna turn around and stick her tongue out at Denmother Yudris. Just
Hey, what we say? You put that tongue back.
I'm in charge of my own destiny.
There's a weird moment of actually like Prisha being young and like actually sticking their tongue out and like it being a huge like that was not okay.
This is probably the first time she's ever tried it since the very first time she ever tried it. Like,
yeah. It's saying fuck in front of your parents as an adult. That's what it is. Okay. All right. You're burning daylight. Go. We'll be fine. And you see all three of them kind of stay. Denmother Yudris doesn't wave. She's just kind of leaning on her staff, but the other two are kind of waving as you guys exit the brush and head out on your way. So we have a little bit of time. So what I would like to do is to possibly fast forward the next full day. Is there anything specific you guys would want to do on the first day of you leaving? I assume you guys are probably trying to avoid Massetti.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
You're clear.
Cool. So I think you just successfully do that, I will say. Prisha, you have your staff and all of the other things. I will say during that time, Prisha, you can feel free to attune to the staff. And one of the things I will ask for that is that, Prisha, let's say that at what point do you think you try to do that? Which I would say is probably maybe consistent of maybe like a prayer or something, or like an equivalent sort of like ritual sort of thing in that way. Would you do that at night, during the day? Or what?
yeah. I think Prisha would probably do it as they're setting up camp, like as it starts to become dark. Like in like the dusk. She might like step away as everyone else is setting up the camp. And just kind of find a quiet corner.
Cool. Okay. So we'll say that everybody kind of like beds down for the night. You guys have had like a very easy go of it that first day, just to like kind of keep things simple on there. Is there anything else that you guys would want to be focusing on or things like that? So you guys are kind of taking watch, but as I said, it'll be kind of a quick moment of that day. So feel free to just mention anything.
Are we still within like viewing distance of Massetti?
No.
Okay, so a 3-story tower wouldn't freak anybody out.
Good question. You are actually pretty much more closer to like the woods where like Gavrot and the rest of them are. So would it freak them out? Probably, but that's up to you whether or
Who
not you.
cares? Jet would attempt to summon another tower every night until he gets it down. Like he's gonna be like dancing around and using the spearhead to like trace the edge around it as like part of the ritual for casting it.
Okay.
But you know, who knows what's gonna happen, right?
I'll say Arcana check. It is lower now.
Nice. Well, that's good because that was a plus 9 is 24.
It works.
And it's going to be a different layout this time, since nobody liked the bunk beds. The first floor is still baths, because you can't put the baths on higher floors, otherwise there could be leaks and spills. It's not good for anybody.
Of course.
So the next 2 floors are 2 different bedrooms, set up however anybody would like them.
Awesome. Kay, I'm just gonna tell you, check your Discord if you haven't already, just to make sure.
Yes, I'm deciding.
You're good. Awesome. Cool. Just want to make sure. Great. Cool. So you guys have another sort of time of being able to like sleep indoors in a place that Ianthe, you, as soon as you kind of like lay your head down, you realize like, oh, I was missing big time. Like this is nice.
Girls' night was fun, but this is better.
I think as Prisha lays down, she's obviously not going to sleep, but I think she lays down and goes, "Oh my god!" Having never been in a comfortable bed before.
Right? See?
It's so cozy. How do you not sink into it? Prisha just like sinks into
Oh, but you do sink into it.
Oh, I'm wrong. There's actually not a bed for Jet. He just has a very comfy looking like love seat that he just curls up on.
I like it.
Oh.
Like curling up on a love seat. Nice. Yeah, Prisha, you've never actually felt more annoyed by the idea that you can't sleep. It's like the ultimate sort of like relaxation would be sleeping. Or I guess the ultimate would be death, but like the next level of that would be sleeping, for sure.
I've already done that. Like
Yeah, you've already
hit
done that
one
part.
once. I don't remember it, but like I've done that once.
That's true. You really like kind of feel like, well, I've relaxed technically more than anyone else here. So
I deserve this.
I deserve this.
Incredible. Cool. Anything for Adim?
I was typing something. Sorry. Anything in regards to what? Sorry.
As far as just like for the like bedding down for the evening after a full day of traveling.
He probably, I would assume Jet made me like a hammock again. So nothing more than relaxing in the hammock that he made me this time. I don't see any need to be outside.
Well, if you want a bed, you can have a bed. It's up to you.
Oh, I like the hammock.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there also possibly like a sort of like see-through type of bath this time that's like awkwardly really close to
no,
Adim's hammock?
No,
there is no aquarium near the hammock.
no, that's an outdoor event.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Got
an
it.
event.
I love
The
the
hammock will be
clarification.
just fine. Thank you very much.
That's great.
It is dyed green to look like seaweed, but it's not actually. It's just
Oh, okay. You realize Adim was never more than crew on a ship where he was lucky if he got a hammock that didn't have holes cut out of it from use. Like he's okay with just a hammock.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, so the next day comes up, and as you all awaken and are ready to sort of start your journey, continuing westward, You all notice this, I'd say, at a certain point throughout the day. Probably pretty dang early, but it's up to you guys on whether or not you make a note of it. Prisha, what do you look like?
Deja vu. I'm having this.
Prisha's been a
I feel like
changeling
we've
this
asked-
whole time.
I feel like we've asked this question a couple of times.
Yes.
Kiki, where are you? If anyone notices, Prisha wakes up and her horns seem a little bit more gnarled looking, like there might be like bone spurs jutting out, and there is a shock. I'm self-imposing. There might in fact just be like a shock of white in her hair, just like just around where her horns are, like in the front mostly. Curiously.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to. I thought about it and then I looked at myself and went,
I love it.
there it is. Yeah, so she's got like this streak of like this patch of white in her hair, and her horns have like more spurs on them and look like gnarled and grayer in color.
Nice. Beautiful.
And she doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to notice at all. Does anybody bring it up? Let's say we're kind of like in the morning of the second day here.
100%. Adim will just walk right
Yeah.
up to her and go, do I need to be concerned at all?
Is there something on my face?
Yeah.
You look good. Different, but in a good
You
way.
got things on your horns
Here.
and your hair is white. Like,
I'll pull out my mirror.
Ow!
is there like... Is it your turn to be possessed? What's going on?
You see Prisha just like, whoa.
Okay, no.
I didn't know you could do that. Ow. They're spiky.
Okay, well, no, she's not.
I don't have my horns on, but I don't know what happened. I what did I do? I attuned to the staff and
sorry,
got
what?
mad at Ianthe's bed.
So you attuned to a staff given you by a bone druid. Okay.
Well,
Oh!
Team will just walk away like, magic.
As Adim walks away, Prisha, you notice Adim walks away and a figure stays that looks very much like Adim, staring out in your direction.
oh no.
She's just gonna wave her hand. Just what?
You see the figure kind of tilts their head slightly.
Points at Adim, points at the figure, points back at Adim.
And I don't know this.
No.
You see it's mouthing something to you.
I saw what it was mouthing!
I did too.
I didn't.
He said, "Can you see me?"
Yeah, it's mouthing, can you see
Yeah.
me? And goes and follows a team. And I think with that, we'll end tonight's session.
What the hell?
We'll see you guys
Help
next
me!
week.
Oh my god!
Bye-bye.